Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at United Health. It is time for another update, and on this chart we are still tracking this idea of a double 1-2-1-2 setup that has been followed by a third wave up, and now we are tracking the fourth wave correction, which in my opinion is still ongoing. However, that is not a problem, since we do still have a lot of room in this area of support between the $260 level all the way down to the $96 level. And in the previous video I had a viewer, I saw a viewer comment that it is impossible for this stock to get anywhere near or below the $200 level. And let me be clear, that is 100% not impossible, and even if it does get there, it's not bearish. To form a healthy correction within a wave 4 is not problematic. Oftentimes in a wave 4 correction we head towards the 38.2% retracement, which is the ideal target for a wave 4. However, none of these facts mean that we will push that low, okay? We could have something like an ABC correction, ABC pattern, where even if we form a lower low within the wave C, it could be marginal. We do have also these levels of structural support in this area between the $215 level all the way down to the $189 level, which are likely to help stop this larger correction in the wave 4, where in the wave C we could be heading towards them. But once we get there, we start to see some buyers coming in, we start to see some relief from a very strong movement that could be forming to the downside, and we may find the bottom right in that area, starting afterwards a fifth wave to new all-time highs. And there is no confirmation at the moment that there will come a follow-up in the wave 4 in a larger ABC structure, but at the moment the probabilities do suggest that is likely. And we do even have this interpretation that we have been tracking here in the white scenario, where we have a 5-wave structure in the wave A, we have now possibly complete a wave B, and we could already be in the C wave to the downside. But honestly, a wave B could be any type of correction. It could be even a triangle, it could be even an ABC, a larger ABC pattern to the upside, it could be even a WXY, no problem. But once that is complete and we see an initial 5-wave structure to the downside, especially if we see an initial 5-wave structure to the downside, the likelihood is, it probably would be on the smaller time frame, but you get the idea. The likelihood is that we will have a 1-2 setup within a wave C, and a third wave would likely follow, or could likely follow. It could in the end be an ABC, but we need to be aware, because an initial smaller time frame 5-wave move to the downside would itself suggest continuation. The same way in this larger structure, this 5-wave move to the downside in the wave A suggests that we should be looking out for another possible low. Now, if we manage to push directly above the 78.6% retracement, which is the top of the resistance for this wave B, the likelihood does shift in favor of already having a bottom here in a wave 4. But until that happens, we will continue to look out and focus on the idea that we may still see one more low in this area. Now, to get to the shorter time frame, we have had some developments, which is why I am actually doing an update on this chart. So what we have been tracking is the idea that we have a possible ABC pattern developing in this area. Right now it is still within an ending diagonal in the wave C. That is the main scenario. It's not necessary. It is possible for other counts to work out, such as the blue scenario, but the main idea is that we could have a top in a wave B, we could have a top here in the yellow scenario, and we could either push directly in the C wave to the downside or form a correction in a larger ABC pattern within the yellow scenario, where we have support. We do have somewhat of a support zone, not the most reliable one, since it isn't really a clear 5-wave structure that has formed to the upside. It is possible for me to count it as a 5-wave structure. It is an acceptable support zone, but it is not the most reliable. And however, I am actually still tracking the possibility of forming another high in this area, where in the previous video I have provided you this resistance area in yellow to look out for a possible additional high that would really suggest an extension here within the wave C. Nothing major, really. It would just be something of a reset here within the wave B. Multiple counts could work out within this extension, but the idea is, at the moment, we did hold support in the orange scenario where we were looking at an ending diagonal here with a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and now, yeah, maybe a fourth wave that actually bottomed here, and now a fifth wave to the upside. Now in this count, I would be expecting an ABC pattern to develop within this fifth wave to the upside, whereas if we really are following the blue scenario, I would be expecting a 5-wave structure, something like 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th. And so far, we are circling it, we are very much steady within the resistance and the support area, where we did kind of hold the 61.8% retracement in the orange scenario, and we did get pushed back by the 78.6% retracement in yellow. But I have noticed that we may have an initial 5-wave structure to the upside in this area, and I am interested in exploring the possibility of something like an AB bottom of an AB that has formed here, or even a possible 1-2 setup, yeah, within the blue scenario. And in that case, I would be watching out for a pretty generic support zone in this area between the $363 level all the way down to the $355 level. Now, as long as this hold, we are still looking for extensions higher, but again, it depends on what count we are following, which pattern we really develop to the upside. At the moment, it could be either of them, so we need to be keeping an eye out. But if this really is to work out, I would assume that we have already bottomed within the wave B. If we actually manage to form an additional low, I would be probably favoring an extension to the downside, either deeper within the blue support zone, or yeah, even starting the larger correction that we have here in yellow. I know the chart is a bit overloaded, so I am trying to make it clear what we are expecting further. It is a bit more difficult to go through the larger time frame at this area once again right now, but I have presented all the counts, all the ideas that we have been tracking in the previous videos. And internally right now, what we really need to focus on is if we manage to create this additional high, where if we manage to get to the 138.2% extension of this initial movement to the upside, I would be considering to track a fourth and a fifth wave pattern that would develop in the blue scenario, okay, 4-5. And if we top here in a 5-wave structure within around the 100% extension, the 123.6% extension, I would probably favor the orange scenario, where I would consider a likely top within the wave within the wave 5 here in orange, resetting the larger structure. But still, I wouldn't necessarily be looking for a fourth and a fifth as I would in the blue interpretation. As again, if we get to the 138.2% extension, the $381.8 level, and additionally, it must be in this case within a 5-wave structure, because yeah, if we are doing a diagonal pattern right now, it would be pretty clear if we do still a 5-wave structure, but within a diagonal pattern, it would be the wave C, and within an impulse, it could be the third wave to the upside, because in this case, where we are tracking a 5-wave structure to the upside, where it does contain internals that have 5-wave structures, such as this wave 1, the third wave must always be an impulse. And for now, you have some targets, you have some levels of what we are expecting. The pressure is still down. We must break the 78.6% retracement, the $371 level, to manage a breakout in this area and form a new top. And yeah, it would be a pretty good indication. And if we break again below the $353 level, the current bottom that we have here in the wave B or 2, it is likely that this structure to the upside would fail, and that we may have a more significant top even in this area. Yeah, the probabilities increase and it would invalidate the orange scenario. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.